Hello, Cara.
Well, hello, Heather.
Wow. It's oops,
Made it to another week. We
yes,
made it to another week.
we did it. We did it. It's Wednesday again and we survived it. It's the sweet subversives time. I love this. It's my favorite time of the week. And I'm reading your
Oh, yeah.
shirt. It says live.
Oh, no, it says,
Oh,
okay,
there
so
you go.
remember a couple years ago when the
Oh,
Vikings got far and then they totally, completely fucking choked it. But before that, live
before
each
that.
day like it's 23-24 with 10 seconds left. And they won that game.
And they won that game. I
And they won
know.
that game.
We were all
So
screaming our heads off and it was crazy. I
it
love
was crazy. So yeah, but I like I like the sentiment in
I
the
did
team.
too. My husband loved that moment so much that he would he woke me up like it was like every morning and he'd look at me with love in his eyes and he'd show me that video clip. And I'm like, I love you too, honey.
So, somewhat similar to that. So Tracy and I, on occasion, we watch portions of the last episode of Mandalorian
Right?
because we want to watch the little Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett teaser, and we want to watch Luke Skywalker coming through and actually being a fucking Jedi instead of a total pussy.
I love
And
that.
so, oh my God, so we watched that. And so then took him down the rabbit hole of YouTube videos, right?
Right?
And so, I showed him the one of they cut it to the music, I Need a Hero. Love
Yes,
it.
I love it.
And then the other one that had the Darth Vader scene at the end of Rogue One cut together with this one, which is fantastic.
Oh,
So you got to see
that.
both of them kicking ass. And then we watched a reaction video, and it was a compilation reaction video, and they showed the episode, right? But people reacting all through it.
Oh yeah.
And it was amazing because when people saw little baby Yoda is in the jail with his little handcuffs. Oh my God. And the sword above him, right? Darksaber above him.
Yeah.
And the people watching the video were like, oh no, don't you hurt him. So they're freaking out.
Not my baby Yoda.
And you could tell these were people who are into Star Wars, very into Star Wars. And then when people saw the X-Wing,
oh yeah, I started,
and they were you saw the hope and everything, and people were like, no, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And as this scene is playing out and it's becoming more and more apparent that it's Luke, people are getting just overwhelmed. And then when he pulls the hood down and he asks, are you a Jedi? And he says, I am. And people are just crying. And it was an amazing video. It's it's what you're talking about with your husband, him getting up in the morning and showing that clip, because it's this shared little happy spot where you're just
he's right? Remember this. Although I will say, when he wanted to get a smoker, he also showed me a picture of a brisket every day. So I don't know where his mind works with that, but he did love that play by the way.
Your man has a hell of a fantasy life.
Yes, smoked meat and football and Star Wars. That's pretty much it.
I can't argue with any of that.
No.
So what are you drinking tonight, Heather?
I am having a delicious Kona beer, Big Wave, delicious golden ale to help me get over last week's St. Patrick's Day green beer fiasco of Skittles in my beer. What was I thinking? Won't be doing that again anytime soon. So I'm going to have that beautiful beer. How about you, lady?
So I am trying, a friend of mine sent me these, and these are those curious elixirs, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
And so it's a non-alcoholic cocktail. And so it's supposed to be kind of like a non-alcoholic Negroni. But it has, let's see.
Did you say Grony?
Negroni.
Negroni. I was thinking you said brony at first. I'm like, that's not right.
Not a brony. So it has pomegranate, orange juice, extracts from lemon peel, bitter orange, something I can't pronounce, gentian, cardamom, and fennel.
Yummy.
So I'm going to see. It's supposed to taste like a cocktail, but
Oh,
just
look
a
at that
non-alcoholic
flavor.
cocktail. So it is beautiful. I got it in my
Pretty.
Grandma Schultz's
Beautiful glasses.
glasses.
Cheers, everybody.
Oh,
Mm. Good.
that's fantastic.
I would say, can you add vodka to it?
I mean, you definitely could use it for a mixer, and this is the closest to a cocktail that I've had that is a non-alcoholic cocktail. Because a lot of times they say it's a non-alcoholic cocktail, but really it's like flavored seltzer water or something like that.
Yeah.
But this has got like that complexity of a craft cocktail. Like you can taste the fennel right up front, and then you get into the citrus, and then you get just that little cardamom on the tail.
That's really good sounding. Oh, man. Mm.
This is really good.
That looks delicious. I'm kind of like,
And they're no sugar added as well.
oh, so it's also sort of diet friendly too.
Yeah, yeah. Depending on them, they are like this one is probably has the most calories in it. I think it's like 80 some for the bottle. Others have like 30 to 40 calories for the entire bottle. So
that's pretty freaking awesome.
yeah,
Well, so success.
that is success. I love that. That's really good.
I like that. Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers. Yeah.
Mm. Nom, nom,
Yeah,
nom, nom.
I really like that. And that's more than just like a juice thing too. I think that's success. I know they're expensive as shit though.
Yeah, that's the other downside is usually when you find something super awesome, it's either really hard to find, really expensive, or something's wrong with it and then you'll never see it again.
Right. Exactly. So, but we have an awesome show tonight.
We do, don't we?
And we have an excellent guest, and I want to get to him because I think he even like took off work to be with us.
Oh, did he? Oh my God. Yes.
I know. So we need to bring him in.
Yes.
So bring Matthew on in and we'll get him introduced. So Matthew is not only the chair of the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin, he is also a criminal justice professional, detective would be the title. But he has done something amazing, and so that is why I'm having him be our libertarian who is caught being good. So Matthew, I'll have you say just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm very happy to come on and talk about some of the work that, not just that I'm doing, but as an organization within the LPWI, the LNC, and then within the organization I'm involved in, Law Enforcement Action Partnership. Just a little bit about me. I'm a Wisconsinite, born and raised. I do serve as state chair. I'm also the Region 6 alternate on the LNC. I'm on the ballot analytics committee for the LNC, so like a man of many hats. But recently, I should say, I've been in law enforcement since 2007, so about 13 years now. I'm currently a detective. I work non-fatal shootings. Before that, I worked on sexual assaults, crimes against children, and in fact was one of the spearheads in ensuring that we were up to code on the sexual assault kit initiative. One of those big bugaboos that libertarians have. I was highly involved in making sure that we took care of our business on our end within our department. Shortly after being involved in law enforcement, I started down the libertarian rabbit hole, and I stumbled across an organization called, it was originally called Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. And their primary focus was having criminal justice professionals, district attorneys, judges, captains, narcotics enforcement officers, just or run-of-the-mill cops who were about common sense drug reform and ending the war on drugs, and seeing firsthand, telling the firsthand the futility of the war on drugs and the wasted resources and the lives that it's destroying. The organization has since grown, and I would really say they've really gotten their act together. They've expanded, and they're now called Law Enforcement Action Partnership. So now they're not just focused, they are still focusing in on ending the war on drugs, but they're dealing with issues with like mass incarceration. Obviously, what we're going to talk about is some of the ICE, the issues with immigration, as well as they're working on affecting positive police reform at the local level. Like right now, I can't go into too many details about what we're doing in Milwaukee, but I have been working with them to do a couple cool things here in the Milwaukee area that will hopefully help start, bring back, a level of respect and trust. And I think that's at the end of the day, that's what all of us in that organization want. It sucks having to go to work and knowing that people, just for you being who you are, don't like you and make generalized assumptions about you when there are quite a few of us that are working on a daily basis, to try and change things for the positive, and not just within these organizations, but within our daily work, within the work that we actually do, like, be victim orientated, along those lines. So that's me babbling on about. I'm also married. I should mention that my wife Anna, who I've converted into a libertarian. I'm super happy about that, and I have 3 little boys, and we're in Muskego, Wisconsin. So
fantastic.
So
So something that you worked on and signed on to just made the news. And that's what caught my eye. And I was like, you are a libertarian cop being good. Could you tell us a little bit about what that was, what you signed on to, and what it's going to accomplish?
So it was a petition that was signed solely by members, current and former members of the law enforcement, or actually criminal justice field. So if you were to look on there, you would see there are there are current and former chiefs of police, former U.S. attorneys, detectives like myself, Kathy, you name it. There's a whole long litany of people. There were just a shade over 100 of us, and it's our petition. The President Biden and the Democratic administration that they need to end this immoral and unethical war on the border when it comes to immigration. That we need to start treating people with respect that they truly deserve, whether they're from this country or not. There were some good stats that Lee put out, that members or people that who are have let's say illegal immigration status are 40% less likely to report a crime. So that means they're going underserved. And why is that? Because what do they think? They think that if they call the police and say X, Y, and Z happened to me, the police are going to come and take them away. I can say where I work, we were a little bit ahead of the curve, and we've already gone out and said that we are not cooperating with any ICE. We're not working with ICE at all. So the immigration stuff where I work at is a non-issue at this point in time, but it's still happening all over the place, across the rest of the country, and it starts at the federal level. So our hope is that we can present from the frontline. So I shouldn't say soldier, the frontline officer, frontline commanders, the frontline prosecutors, that hey, this is a failed policy. And we're doing way more damage than we are good with our immigration policy. I was more than happy to sign on to that and attach my name to that without any question. I could care less. Honestly, what any fellow officer or any member of the law enforcement community could think of that, because I know, the morality of what's going on. Raised a Catholic. It's a big thing. Charity, being good to each other, it's just ingrained in me. And then you throw the libertarianism into it. Don't hurt people, just treat everybody with the same basic rights. That's why I always like to incorporate that. I know LEAP they're apolitical, but I always try to interject a little bit of libertarianism to go the extra mile with them.
So have you received feedback from other officers that you work with?
I have. I've actually gotten a few fellow officers to join the organization. Not like actively, but at least put their name on a membership card. And that's one of the things that, like I said, they've now got a really like they got two younger guys that are like they're political directors now and lobby directors, and they're kicking butt. And that's kind of one of our next phases. So I know one of the next things we'll be discussing and putting something similar out that I'll say I already signed on to is to end qualified immunity, not just for law enforcement, but for government officials as a whole.
Yes.
People like to single out law enforcement, but the fact of the matter is, it's a top down issue. You know, we should be able to seek justice when justice is due, and seek recourse when we are wronged. And unfortunately, that's with the way the law is set up. That's not going to happen. There's some common misconceptions, especially as I get it about and I get that feed. That's a big pushback. The law enforcement community is like, we're just going to get sued and sued and sued and sued and sued. And what we fail to realize is if you're operating under the guise of your SOPs within the realm of what the city's going to cover you, you're still going to be covered by an attorney, and you're not going to face. It's once you step outside the bounds of that, you look at some of the insane stuff that has gone on, but since this past spring that we've seen, those are the kinds of things where qualified immunity needs to act. And that people need to be able to seek legal recourse, not just against the department or the government, but the individuals that were involved in those cases.
Absolutely.
So that's coming in the works. I can't go into details on what exactly it says, but I can tell you that that's in the works, and that's something we're working on.
So some people have wondered why the push for qualified immunity, why that has stalled as an area. And you hit upon the reason why it has stalled. And it's because it's not just about police officers, it's about politicians as well.
Yeah.
So it's, and politicians know that, they're not highlighting it, but that is why it is stalling out and dying, because they're looking at it, they're like,
they can use law enforcement as the easy target, because it's really hard to videotape, the mayor of some city doing something completely corrupt or, illegal, as it is to, now that officers are wearing body cameras, squad cameras, everybody's got a camera.
Yep.
That's shooting ducks at, fish in a barrel. That's easy to document. It's harder to document the other stuff that's going on. So law enforcement's been an easy target for it. And in many cases, rightly so. Like there's, sometimes you can't excuse the actions of some members within the law enforcement. So and that I've always found it, and I guess I'm going to start going off on a little bit of a tangent, and I apologize. Okay. But just being the law enforcement member within the Libertarian Party has been a difficult task. But as you can see, I've made it work. I've become state chair. I've become out of the LNC, and that's because people trust me. I speak what I say, and I mean what I say. And I don't hold back, especially when it comes to my chosen career. Although it's what fills and keeps me employed and food on the table, that still doesn't mean I can't say what's right or what's wrong with what I do. And I would hope that any of us, no matter what career, we're doing the same exact thing, or we should be. Otherwise, you're living the double standard on that.
Absolutely. So what other things are you up to, either yourself and your organization or the State Party Wisconsin?
State Party, LPWI will be having our convention April 23rd up in Eau Claire at the Lismore Hotel, which is going to be pretty awesome. We've already had really good ticket sales.
I bet.
Very happy. I'm very happy about that. We have a great lineup of speakers. We have our 2020 presidential and vice presidential candidates. Joe and Spike will be there. Joe Bishop Henchman, our LNC chair, will be there. Karen Ann Harlos, LNC secretary, will be there. And then who am I? Oh yeah, Adam Kokish will also be there speaking. We'll also have, well, outside of myself, John Phillips, who's our region rep, will be there. So we're going to have a pretty good array of, nationally known people who can, help connect, not just at the local, because, like typically you go to a state convention, it's very local, it's not, you don't typically get. So we were able to fortunately secure quite a few people. That way our local people can start connecting at the national, and we can start networking more and more and more. And that's something I think that we missed out on. Just some highlights. I'm not running for state chair again. You've been
an awesome state chair.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the time. It's stressful. I got a lot going on.
It is.
The LNC stuff is what I'm going to be focusing, especially the ballot access when it comes. Wisconsin's going to be facing similar issues, as well as Iowa. I know with some of the laws that are being passed, like I feel like I would be better served dedicating more time to that. And I know I have some good people in the wings that are willing to run from some of the offices, and maybe even my wife for treasurer. So we'll see. I keep digging her deeper and deeper into the libertarian circle. So we'll see what happens with that.
You just
well, sometimes I find that she's become more anarchist than I ever wish I could be. So it's just like, all right, I just let her go. Just let her go. Her own way. I'm not getting in the way on that one. But thing. Yeah, so that like I said, with the LNC, as you know, Cara, we passed a really good budget. We're operating the black. Donations are doing very well. We've now populated all of our, I want to say we populated pretty much all of our committees, and committee chairs are now being selected. So we can start really getting to work on a lot of the things, especially like ballot access. That was always a big bugaboo for me. With the COVID, that was such a pain in the butt for us. We petition, much like a lot of the other states, to get the requirements removed, not just for us, but for Republicans, Democrats, and the Green Party, who all had party status. Like, what's the point? We've already got party status. And we were met with, disdain, and our governor, who was one of the big shutdown governors, said, "Oh, no. It's the American way to go out and go collect signatures." So you're telling me that in some cases people had to collect over 2,000 signatures, like we did for Joe, or state senate, and now you have to come in contact with all these people in the middle of a pandemic? That really shows the compassion, and it really shows you where your policies are really at. So like
either they think that it's serious and people need to maintain their distance, right? Yeah. Or no, it's completely not, and you can go out and get your 2,000 signatures and pass a pen back and forth and like be this close and have discussions with people and all that kind of stuff. So which is it?
Well, they wanted it both ways. That was the problem. They wanted it both ways.
They did.
Unfortunately, outside of Joe, we lost a lot of candidates who just did not want to go through with it. Which in the end, that's fine, understandable. We had a good spring. We had three of our party members elected to office in spring. Yes. Brian Defferding, our vice chair on Winnebago County Board. Mm-hmm. Joe Prohauska, who's on Appleton City Council, which is like, what are they, the 5th or 6th largest city in
that was a significant
Wisconsin. Win. Yep, and that was one he really campaigned his butt off. And then there was another one, Robert Reynolds, out in Edgerton, although he had to give up his seat to take care of his mother. But that was another one where he was a young kid, and I'll tell you, I have phone calls with this kid, and I was like, there is no way this kid knows what he's doing or anything. And then all of a sudden I check back in and he goes, oh, hey, I just secured endorsements from the entire city council. Or, you know, I've knocked every door in my thing. I'm like, oh, all right, maybe you know. I underestimated, and he won in a two-way race against a prior, a prior sitting council member. So the goal is, that's one of the things that hopefully a lasting legacy is I put together a campaign strategy plan for 2022, so that way we can secure ballot access, but we're also putting a big focus on winning our smaller local elections, so we can get the wins and then also have ballot access, and we don't have to go through trying to find paid volunteers, you know, just that whole rigmarole, and resources can get diverted to states that really need it.
And Michelle, who
yes.
is our new activism coordinator for LP National. She's got a new volunteer headed your way.
She just
excellent. Very good.
And then Neil Harmon says, great work, Matt.
Yeah, no, Neil campaigned for me when I was running for state assembly in 2018, and he campaigned for Gary Johnson. So Neil is a very hard worker, and I know he's looking to take on hopefully some leadership role at this next convention, and I would be very pleased with that.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Anything that's upcoming, or anything else you wanted to add about the petition?
Like I said, just look forward to, we'll have one on qualified immunity will be coming up, and I'll be posting that once that goes out. I know that one's gonna be tougher to get our membership to sign on to, just because it's such a hot button issue. But again, I'm not afraid to take that on. I will be at your Minnesota State Convention. I will, as the regional, I'm trying to make my rounds to get to know everybody quite well.
And we can't wait to see you, so that'll be good.
I'll also be at the Iowa Convention, which is the weekend before with Wisconsin. So I'll be at those. I'll be tabling for the Pragmatism Caucus for the most part, but we'll be there trying to, get to know everybody. I think that's very important as a region rep.
Heather and I do a hospitality suite at the convention. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
It's awesome.
No, it's fine. I'm going to bring the wife to the Minnesota one. So we can enjoy a weekend and see how you guys do it, but not table or do any of the other stuff. Just get to enjoy ourselves and just get to know everybody. Ours, Minnesota's is a fun convention. Like, we're not all about the business meeting. Mm-hmm.
We do it because it's a state obligation, not because we like it. And so we spend as little time as humanly possible on it. And then it's all about, like, it's like a reunion, right? We're all hanging out together. We're doing classes and panels and workshops and having pizza, and, that's what we're focused on. So.
Well, that's excellent. I can't wait to make it up for you guys.
So on that petition, the first one that you signed, I assume it has been delivered to the Biden administration, and
the Biden administration and the head of the I cannot think of her name, the Department of Homeland Security.
I know.
Yep. Yeah. So it was sent to who needed, as well as congressmen and congresswomen. We're going to keep working, and that's all I can say is that regardless of what they decide to do or not do, we're going to keep working. That's for sure, and I'm going to keep working. So.
Well, we appreciate everything you do, Matthew, and thank you for signing on to that petition. Thank you for the advocacy that you are doing, both on your state as the regional alt. Also, all of the work that you're doing within your profession. You definitely are a libertarian that is continuously caught being good. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate you guys having me on, and be happy to come back anytime you want.
Absolutely, yes. Especially when that next petition happens. We want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'll let you know.
Fantastic. See you at Minnesota's convention.
All right, have a great one. Nice meeting you guys.
Nice to see you. Awesome. That was so cool.
Is he not awesome?
He's super awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. Oh, man. I now I'm like,
And,
oh
and
man.
it burns a little bit to have to admit that Ascani is awesome.
You know, okay, I'll share a secret. I lived in Wisconsin for a summer. Just one summer. I know it contaminated me, so I'm totally open to Wisconsin people now. I
I don't know
know.
if I could talk to you anymore.
I know. I feel like I'm sorry. I had to share that. Full disclosure, their beer was okay, but the cheese was even better.
Oh, yeah.
They got me with the cheese. I'm a sucker for it, you know?
I can understand that.
Oh man, people are. Oh, so yep. Here, there's so many comments coming in.
Yeah.
Great, yes, go Pack. No, I still love the Vikings. Sorry. Yes.
So he was talking about how his state is having to fight against some ballot access laws being proposed, and he mentioned Iowa. And so I did want to give people just a little.
Oh my God,
my
Mabel's
chief
here.
of staff is here. I did want to give you just a little rundown of some of the challenges that we're facing right now. So in Iowa, they have passed a law right now, and they basically might as well have called it the anti-libertarian law, because they looked at how libertarians affected the last election.
They didn't
And
like it.
they decided that can't happen again. And so they did what these states do. Anytime we start to get the slightest attraction and enjoy success within a state, they have raised the signature requirements 500%.
That's just crap.
500%. It is absolutely crap. Yes.
That's horrible.
Mabel says, I flick my tail at that.
Flick my beautiful silky tail at that in its direction. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, you're going to get love.
I know. I've been getting love all day. This has been a love day. And then we have Pennsylvania, who during the pandemic, right, they did a lawsuit trying to say, look, we have orders that you literally cannot come within 6 feet of someone, not even outside. You have to stay at home, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? So they had really strict lockdown. And during that time, they were being asked to get 2,000 signatures per candidate and all this kind of crap, right? And so they petitioned for relief, saying, it's illegal for us to do this. And the Democratic Party there, and the Republicans too, they said, nah, it's not a big deal. You can totally do that. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. It's not a big deal.
I'd like to see them try.
So for this election, they are trying. And guess what? They petitioned the court for relief and got it.
What a bunch of effers.
Got it.
Oh, that's crap. That's freaking crap.
So they had a Democratic candidate who petitioned the court for relief because he said we could not get our signatures. The Pennsylvania Libertarians got their signatures last year.
Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez.
So they were able to get theirs, but then this Democrat wasn't able to get his. And so he petitioned saying, oh, it just wasn't possible. And they're like, absolutely. It's so important that we have people on the ballot.
No.
Are you effing kidding me?
No. How come it's not important to have us on the ballot? You know, if it's I just want to drink those Democrat tears right up.
Yes. And I have my glass from the New Hampshire convention.
Oh, yes. Oh, how appropriate.
And your tears are delicious and your parties will die.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. I can't freaking believe that they would let them after, you'd think there would be some sympathy, but there's none. Yeah.
No, they don't even pretend.
I like
they
this.
Just pretend. Rules for thee, not for me.
Not for me. Although I'm going to go back because I saw Mark Bendixson posted about cheese in Wisconsin.
Oh.
I was in college.
Yes, that makes you a cheese mule.
You are a cheese mule. The best job in the world.
So if you want to know where to get good food, Bendixson always knows.
Oh yeah, I mean, like he's got the hookup.
He does. He does. Was my speech at New Hampshire recorded? I don't think it was. So I was at the New Hampshire State Convention this weekend, which I've never been to New Hampshire, so that was kind of exciting. Spoiler alert, it was not warmer there.
What?
I know. Whenever I fly somewhere, I always just assume it's going to be warmer. It was not warmer.
In Minnesota, everything usually is.
Right. But I went there and went there with a friend, Pat Barnum, who is the treasurer for Minnesota. And we ended up having we had a really good time. So, I mean, it was good. But I spoke during lunch. And a lot of people clear out for lunch, which I completely understand because, some people are able to go to the convention, but they need to find a more cost-effective lunch, right?
Yeah, right.
So, that's okay. So, I wonder is that Pat?
It might be, because if they don't log in the right way, it doesn't show the name.
But I will tell you, what's fun about going to different state conventions is seeing how different they are. How are they run? What's the attitude of the people there? All that kind of stuff. What are their hot button topics? All that kind of stuff. And so it was interesting because in New Hampshire, it was like they had business meeting the whole day.
What? Why so long?
I don't know. I think they're into it. I think they're into it. So yeah, that's
Robert's
Pat.
rules. Let's do the Robert's rules.
Right. So Pat and I get there at 9 a.m. And just to let you guys know, and I said earlier, Minnesota, we're not into the business meeting.
No, we don't.
We're so not into it. We bribe people to show up for the business meeting with alcohol, usually hard alcohol.
Yeah.
We have had some train wrecks, but that's what we have to do. Otherwise people would just blow it off and they'd show up after lunch for the fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
So we're just not into it. And, we're always like, bylaws. I mean, if we get to them, whatevs. But who really cares? And there's always next year. And
you can get to
no
it.
one cares. No one cares.
Oh.
Okay, so that's how Minnesota is. So go to New Hampshire, and Pat and I get there at 9. And they had something that was like on a consent, and then they took it off the consent, and then they wanted to change one word, and there was arguments over one word. So Pat and I are seeing, one word in like this, I don't know, thing, bylaw thing. I don't know, resolution. I think it was even just a resolution.
That's not my jam.
Right. And so Pat and I are looking at each other. We're like,
David's like, I love it.
And so we are like talking to the other people at our table, and the gentleman next to me who's very interesting, and he was there at the founding of the party. How cool is that?
That's super cool.
He walked out of the meeting with David Nolan, and then he had to go home, but the other guys then wrote out the statement of principles in the bar.
Oh wow.
So
that's crazy.
So we're seeing how this is going. And we're talking to this other guy at our table, and I asked I'm like, when do you think the bar opens? Because holy hell,
you need
I can see how this is going, right? Bar was not open. Bar wasn't going to open till 4:00, and that was unacceptable. Not their fault. Not their fault. This is weird little COVID rules and stuff. So
yeah,
okay, I get it. But then they tell me there's a liquor store just 2 blocks away. So Pat and I hightail it there.
Yeah.
And we're deciding, okay, we don't want to get anything that is too hard to alcohol because it'll be a train wreck. And number 2, we can't do anything like that needs a corkscrew. So then we decide a box of wine would be perfect. So that's what we did. And we cranked that sucker open at about 10:00 a.m. And I will tell you that made it go so much better. So Pat's suggestion for Minnesota was we should have a box of wine on every table for the business meeting, even though our business meeting is only 2 hours. I'm game.
Yeah, like have adult juice boxes.
Yes. And conventions, like, okay, say, you know, they do those little gift bags and stuff and goodie bags. No, just do a box of wine on every table. I want that for a party favor.
No shit. I'd be like, here's your box of wine. Like, all for me? Yes, all for you, of course. And I think that would be awesome. I mean, they could have, well, I mean, like I was thinking crowlers for people like beer, but you know what? Box wine. Everybody will drink wine, I think, pretty much, right?
It was wet. It had alcohol in it.
It was probably going to make the meeting go so much better.
We just kept a low, slow buzz going the entire day.
I would too. I prefer the box of wine. So you're probably pretty popular then, you know, if you bring in the box wine, they're probably like, oh, Jesus, thank you.
So a few people came over and they were like, oh, and then they saw it and they were like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm like, do you want some? And they're like, oh, no, better not. Because again, they were like really, really into the business meeting.
Is this like a different culture thing? You know, like
I think so.
New Hampshire versus Minnesota. Minnesota were like, let's start drinking. It's 10. Oh,
yeah.
If they had bourbon, yes.
Jared was saying about Indiana.
Oh, up here. Yep.
Yeah.
Even with Sam present.
It's easy, even with Sam present. Although, so Indiana was one of the first non-Minnesota conventions I went to. And I was surprised that people were wearing suits. I was like,
I know. Like, we're very casual in Minnesota.
and B, like, they were very into the business meeting too and doing like all Robert's Rules-y stuff and
oh my God, right? Oh, box wine and commemorative glasses at each place. Yes, Mark.
Yes. Well, and this, if you bought this glass, then you got to do either Democrat tiers or Republican tiers. It was either a red drink or a blue drink.
That sounds delicious. I drink them up. Oh man, that is so awesome. Oh yes, and NOLA, alcohol in every convention bag after day one. Yes, I love that. You know, oh my God, I keep seeing alcohol things. We've all gone alcoholic. Bottle of Mad Dog 2020. It could go off the rails. You know, like what's stopping us?
It couldn't go off the rails more than the first year in Minnesota that the Agoras did their hospitality suite.
I loved it.
It gave shots, like hard liquor shots to everyone. I think it was like 8 a.m. Yes. And business meeting started at 10. And it wasn't for a set price. It was just like a donation. Like you just gave a donation. And when they were pouring shots, they weren't like shots. They were like
a little mini glass.
They were glasses of hard liquor. And everyone was just annihilated by like 10 a.m.
I was smart. I did mimosas and I said, I'll pour it myself. Because like they would pour it like all champagne and then a tiny bit of orange juice. I'm like, no, I'm going to start a little slower and I'll work my way up. Because I don't need to be throwing up at night tonight. So.
Or by noon.
They also had food, and I think people forgot about that because they had like French toast and stuff, which gluten-free lady can't eat. But I ate that.
French toast, yeah.
But our hospitality suite, we rocked it. We had coffee all the time. We had donuts and cookies. So, man, that's the thing. If you haven't ever been to a libertarian convention, you should go because it's awesome. Parties are great. Food's great. And the people are even better. So cool. And you're going to be at a lot of them.
Yes. And we're finally getting the regional trainings scheduled. So dates and dates,
baby.
Yeah. So registration for that is going to open pretty well. So that will be eight additional trips I will be taking this year.
That's awesome. I might go with one. So
yeah,
we're going to see if that works out. I'm excited. Mystery tour. Oh man. So, should we move on to other things? Because I have
you need to get your tip.
I got just the tip. Let me get the thing up. There it is. Just the tip. Okay. So like I've told people like I lost some weight this year, and one of the things when you lose weight is your skin gets kind of loosey goosey. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I go to YouTube for all of my advice because there's people out there who know everything, and they do. I found like 2 products that were highly recommended by older ladies whose skin was getting way looser than mine, and it's you can get it at a drugstore. And what it does is it tightens. Like you can use it under your neck if your face is just falling off from losing weight, or if you lose, like in your belly and it
Yeah.
gets like loose.
Right.
There is a product. Okay, this one's the best one. I'm gonna hold it up. This is Nivea skin firming and smoothing. I can't turn it right. Let's
And
see if I
you've
can
been
get it.
using this.
I've been using this, and it tightens your skin, and they even people have used it on their upper eyelids. Although I will say, if you get it in your eyes, you will go blind. So be very, very careful. People have used it on their eye bags to make, how people get puffy, fatty eye bags. They've used it on that, and it actually makes the fat underneath go a little bit smaller and tighter because there's a stuff called L-carnitine in it, and this one is the serum, and that one's more concentrated. It's a little more expensive. This one works a lot better. However, almost all the drugstores I've been to, I also bought this just to put on my fanny because, when you lose weight, everything kind of like got loose. The older you get, when you lose weight, it's a cruel thing. People are like, yeah, you lost weight, but then everything's kind of hanging there. This helps everything tighten up. So it's the same brand, Nivea skin firming and toning, but it's the lotion, the gel cream they call it. And this stuff works great. So rub this on your ass, rub it on your stomach, wherever you got loose skin, and it tightens it up. And if you got a little fat under there, it kind of makes it a little bit go away too. So totally.
So I wonder if that serum would work on, okay, so yeah, getting old.
I do it here.
What the hell?
I know, right? This is where I'm putting it. And it helps. Like here, I get like weird because like, okay, this is the thing on the YouTube. They said that as you get older, like the fat and the muscle kind of like gravity, right? Everything goes this way. So
this is what my cheeks used to be. Like they were.
They just like melt. So this at least will get some of the fat out, and then it will also tighten it a little bit. I think you have to kind of keep using some of it. This is stronger though. I probably wouldn't use this on like your eyes or anything, but the ladies on YouTube all swear by it, and they're all like 50 and everything. And the one lady, she had pictures because I get this too. I have
That's right, David. Jowls need love too.
Jowls need love too, and I know guys have the same problem. But this stuff is awesome. So, and you can find this everywhere. So this Nivea skin firming and smoothing. I'm not going to make any money from this, but I totally recommend it, and it helps.
I'm going to have to get that.
Yay! So that is just the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the tip, baby. It won't hurt.
I won't get you pregnant.
I won't. Just hold still for a second. Yes, gels need love too. So that was my tip. And let's see, good news maybe? I just now
absolutely, yes. So if you guys have something awesome that has happened, this past week, could be something small, could be something major, but something like some good news or something awesome that happened this week for you, type it in the comments so that we can share it. And
I'm like,
Heather and I will too.
I know.
I do the pregnant pause because I got just the tip.
I didn't mean to get you pregnant pause.
I know. Yes, you got me pregnant pause with your tip. But
it says booked a room, needs to know if craft beer or whiskey. Does that mean that if it will be provided?
Why not both?
Why not both? Bring it all, baby. I will say it is a Minnesota tradition to bring all the booze that you can think of. And everybody, like, there's, like, in the party rooms, like, there's usually coolers and stuff sitting around. So people, like to throw stuff in, and everybody kind of shares. So if you have some and you want to make easy friends, bring your booze,
Yeah, and everyone just, like, brings stuff, and everyone, it's like alcohol potluck. Think of it that way.
Because that's Minnesota for you. Like, we're sharing. I don't know if other states do that, but we're very like we love each other very much here, and it's cold in the winter, so we all kind of like bond over booze. I think because there's not
Yes.
much
So
to do.
remember, if there's something awesome, share it.
Share it, please. Please share your good
And
news.
we'll put it up because then, you know. So my awesome thing, actually, I kind of have two.
Yes, please go.
So going to New Hampshire with Pat Barnum, that was super fun. And she is super fun. And even when we flew back and we had like a 4-hour layover in New Hampshire, and or not New Hampshire, we had a 4-hour layover in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we had super good food. We had good wine. I mean, we had a nice relaxing afternoon. It was a lot of fun.
That is super cool.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. The other thing was though, I was introduced in my speech by Nick Sarwark, and
oh yes,
I had always kind of wondered how I got my job, like how, because there were like several hundred people who applied to be the candidate recruiter, right?
Wow, yeah.
And so I was always wondering, like, why did they pick me? Right?
Yeah, right.
And so he gave a really nice introduction, and he said that he knew he wanted me to have that job because I'm a loser.
Whoa.
Because I lost my first election, and I didn't let that stop me, and I learned from it, and I came back and showed determination and won the second time.
Oh, I like that.
And I'm like, I mean, that was super sweet to hear.
Yeah, right? I think it shows perseverance, and I think that's what people need to see. Oh my God. So Pat Barnum, she also really liked the best brisket outside of Texas is in the Charlotte airport.
Yeah, who would have ever thought? It was really good.
Find that picture. I don't know. Did you have a picture somewhere? I thought I saw a picture of the food.
Yes.
I don't know if it was on hers.
Yes. Did the hot dog, the Chicago dog, which I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with Chicago dogs now. I feel dirty even saying it.
It looked kind of.
Oh my God. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was so delicious. Almost nothing on top of the hot dog was anything I like to eat. But all of it together was amazing. It was amazing. In fact, so I went to the Illinois Libertarians, and I'm like, okay, I'm obsessed with the hot dogs. Where do I find this shit? Because that is not regular relish. And what the hell is a sport pepper? Because I asked, what's the peppers, the hot peppers that are on there? And they're like, oh, it's a sport pepper. What the hell is a sport pepper?
It's for the games.
I have ordered the sport peppers and the relish. So I'm going to recreate these dogs this weekend.
What kind of do they do beef dogs? I mean, I'm just kind of wondering.
They said it's a Vienna style beef hot dog.
Because there's something really good about the Chicago dogs that when I've had it, I'm like, I love the combination. They got the weird, it's like, I don't know what it is, like dark pepper or something on it. And it's like everything together, and the relish.
Ben Dixon knows.
Celery salt. That's what it is. It's like some seasoning on it. And I'm just like,
I told you he's your man for food.
He's the guru, dude. I'm just like, we used to have a really awesome Chicago style hot dog place in Mankato, and the guy ended up selling drugs out of the back of the place, and it went out of business. And I wanted to cry because the hot dogs were so freaking good. I'm like, dude, I don't care if you sell drugs, whatever. I just want those hot dogs again. So good. So yes, I haven't had a good Chicago style dog in forever. I would die for that. So maybe I'll come over and you can make me a hot dog. That'd be awesome.
I'll give you more than just the tip.
Yes, give me the whole wiener. How did we go this way? The secret is the celery salt. I'm loving that. Oh, so I'm like, what? I don't even know what my good news is this week. I feel like you have maybe because you got all the good news. So
did I steal all the news?
All the goodness. drugs and dogs should be a legit shop. I would totally go like, well, crack and a hot dog. Okay. Is it it's a Friday special? I don't know. I think he's selling weed because I remember that dude. He was just like really laid back, and I'm like, I don't care if you're selling weed. I really like the hot dog. But small town, they don't like that, I guess.
No, I sent you the food porn photos.
Oh, let me look. Let's see if I can get that to work. Oh,
And
yeah.
we'll see. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Here we go. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. That looks so freaking good, Cara. I'm hungry. Let's see if I can get that.
And I had steak tonight. We had ribeyes.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm just like, I had my what do you call it, HelloFresh meal, and it was okay. There you go. Doesn't that
Tracy's
corn?
Tracy's trying to get me to give my HelloFresh meals for this week to my sister.
Why is he being like
they're
that?
the Green Chef ones. Because one of them is like a cauliflower bowl, and then another one is Peruvian chicken, which I think looks good. But so yeah, so that's the brisket.
The brisket, and then the other one was the hot dog. Let me see.
Yep.
Let's see this way. There you go. It's got mustard.
Yeah.
And the
although F that hot dog. I took that hot dog off. There was no way I was going to eat a pickle with my hot dog. That's not happening.
I wonder if it's a spicy hot dog or something. No,
it was just a pickle. It was just a pickle, like a regular pickle. But you see that color of that relish?
Yeah, it's so bright.
That is unnatural. That is some unnatural shit.
I
don't know. I did order it though.
That's so good. I love that.
They don't do ketchup.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, and I've made my husband mad because I definitely have put ketchup on hot dogs before, and he's like, why am I married to you? Because he's very German and Polish, so it's all about the mustard. But
you put mustard on hot dogs.
Exactly. And I never grew up.
Pickle lives matter.
Pickle lives matter.
And we have a new Patreon to thank.
Yes, it is Pickle Lives Matter himself, David Nick. Yay! Thank you for being our new Patreon. Woo! And I'll just put up the Patreon thing because they supported us at www.patreon.com/Sweet Subversives. And now he is our new best friend. Thank you, David. You are the best. And all of our Patreons get to go to a super secret hangout with Cara and Heather stuff. So,
I know we should do more secret stuff in there because we do announce ahead of time what we're drinking. We will be announcing like guests and that kind of thing ahead of time. But I also think we'll be doing like fun little live videos and just quick little things like that in there. So
I think it's totally worth it. So if you like it, show that you love us and support us. I mean, like they say, like and subscribe, but also be our Patreon because that's even better, So we're getting closer to Cara's new microphone. That'll be awesome too. So
I have it on my Amazon wish list. I'm like,
it looks so good. I know we're getting there. It's almost there. Oops, I saw.
Oh, Bendixson.
What's this?
Oh,
new Coke
with coffee. Yeah, it's like that coffee Coke. Have you seen that in the store?
No. Is it good?
I don't like anything with coffee, so I'm not the person to ask. But evidently, Bendixson says it's good.
Bendixson, what do you think? Is it worth it? Worth a try? Oh, Heather needs to upgrade the camera. I'm just using my laptop, dude. Yes, I would love that.
I'm just using my laptop.
Yeah, I know. It's part of it isn't have anything to do with the camera. It's because my husband is also sucking on our internet at the same time.
So while we do this, our men are gaming together.
Yes. And
this
Cara
is
has
Wednesdays.
better internet than I do because she lives in the metro, and I have like one of the two options in Mankato, and our internet sucks. And we have the top tier, and it still sucks. So it makes my picture look fuzzy. So
it's not her camera; it's bandwidth.
It's the bandwidth issue. I mean, if we pre-recorded it, that would be fine, but that takes the fun away from the commenting and everything. So, So someday I will just win the lottery and I will get one of those Elon Musk's new satellite internets and I will rule the roost. So it'll be worth it. Oh, Mark says yes for the cup of coffee. And also, there's a few dark, regular, and vanilla. Oh my God, dude. That sounds amazing. Okay.
And upgrade the bandwidth.
I don't know if there's enough money. We have to put like a fiber optic cable to my house. That'll be worth it though.
We'll run a T1.
I want the T1. And then I will like probably break the internet somehow in my own way. But yes, breaking it. Oh my God, it's already 9. What the heck? I thought we had more time. Okay, so my good news is I get to watch one of Cara's older interviews with Spike Cohen's today, and I was just like on my break. I'm like, oh, I have stuff on my YouTube, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to watch this, so I watched it, and I started crying because I love Cara. Because I was just like, I don't know what it is, but sometimes it's like you just get reminded like where we've been and where we've come to. And that's why I like getting to do this show with you every week, is I get reminded all the time. So that was my good thing. And so people want to watch it, go to YouTube and Google or YouTube and search for Cara and Spike Cohen and you'll find it. So totally worth it. It was a good interview too.
Spike is amazing.
He is. And you are amazing. Yep. I'm sorry. I just got to say it.
Yes, I was in a reason. Yeah.
Oh, I got to read that too. Jesus, there's so much stuff to do.
I know. I haven't even seen it. Mark gave me the link and I played part of it and then I couldn't get all the way through of it. So I have it on my queue. So I'm going to be watching that tomorrow because I was like, oh, really?
Will you share it?
Surprise.
Because I want to see it too. I want to bask in the Cara glory. I love it.
I will. And I'll put it in our Sweet Subversives group.
Please do. We love hearing all the success and awesome stuff. So, and on that note, we're over time.
We are.
And I'm sad to say it's time to go. And I don't want to because I still have like 2 sips of beer, but then I can go get another beer and it'll be okay. So we love you. We love all of you. And thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for Matt for talking with us today. We loved getting to hear all this really cool stuff that libertarians are doing to be good. Yeah. We need more of that. So have a good week. We will see you next time. Take care.